Bleach fam, what's going on? It is your boy Austin, aka the Blonde Shinigami, and for our first episode is one that I have been just dying to do because it hasn't been done a lot. A character discussion on Oetsu Nimaiya, who is the...
I am #1 Zanpakuto creator!
And being the #1 Zanpakuto creator, we need to give him some love. So, we're going to be doing that in this character discussion of Oetsu Nimaiya, the God of the Sword. Oetsu Nimaiya is a character that I believe was developed with a lot of beat and style to his design. It's clearly evident by his white puffer jacket as a captain's cloak, his blonde dyed shaved sides to his hair, his afro hawk, as well as a pair of really cool gold looking shades. They look gold, they might be yellow, but I'm gonna say they're gold for swag purposes, and a cozy looking pair of green slides. Overall, Oetsu's appearance has just this style. It's just so indicative of a badass, chill, and unpredictable character, which Oetsu Nimaiya definitely is. Not much is really known about Oetsu Nimaiya, aside from the fact that he created the Zanpakuto, and thus the Asuchi, which are the souls of the Zanpakuto respectively. My theory is that prior to the creation of the Zanpakuto, Oetsu, like most other Shinigami, were very skilled in the art of Shunpo, which is hand-to-hand combat, and Kido, which is the manipulation of Reiatsu to produce a power akin to magic or spells, to such a degree that when he had become a master of both of those skills, Oetsu wanted more. Considering he created the Zanpakuto, one could only assume he created the first Zanpakuto in a forge of sorts, similar to what he has right now. Once the first Zanpakuto was created, I believe it was just an ordinary sword. But the interesting part comes when he decided to infuse his Reiatsu into the Zanpakuto, creating the first Asuchi. Upon creating the Zanpakuto, I'm sure he freaked out. Like anybody would if you created life out of a sword and it started speaking to you. I believe he became comfortable with the Zanpakuto at one point. They bonded, and he ended up developing a Shikai, and ultimately his Bankai to present to the other Shinigami. It's said that to become a member of the Royal Guard, you have to do something of great significance for the Soul Society. If my theory stands true, I believe Oetsu created the Zanpakuto for everybody, including maybe even the other Zero Division members. But that probably opens about 15,000 other plot holes, so let's leave those in the closet for the time being. It's also said that the Soul King himself ended up noticing Oetsu for his accomplishment. That being said, I wonder if he created a Zanpakuto for the Soul King prior to him being dismembered. Guess the world will never know. You know, it's kind of ironic that the first character we discuss is one that actually hasn't had a Zanpakuto officially revealed in any way, shape, or form. But that's the best part about these videos I'm making, the speculation! The Zanpakuto that Oetsu opts to use in the fight against the Schutzstaffel is one that today should be considered broken. Well, in a way it is. Sayafushi, or in the Viz translation, the Sheath Dodger, is a Zanpakuto that Oetsu created on the fly that is not only too sharp, but it was too smooth, and hell, I dare say, too perfect. Because the largest downside is that Sayafushi cannot be held in a traditional sheath. It needs to be put into a tub of what I can only assume is blue flavored Jello, which is such an inconvenience. Jello, it becomes liquid almost immediately, and then the sword's useless. Bad choice. Bad choice. But seriously, that sword, don't fuck with it. It's a one hit, one kill, and underestimating Sayafushi plus Oetsu himself is a recipe for instant death. As is evident by the fact that he literally sliced through most of the Schutzstaffel with ease like a pack of butter in a blender. On the other slice, if I'm to assume what a Zanpakuto really is, well, I wouldn't really know. it's hard to say what the number one Zanpakuto creator's Zanpakuto would look like. My theory is that his original Zanpakuto is the one and only Enra Kyoten, the Zanpakuto of the one and only Suna Yoshiro clan, who bred the villain from the Can't Figure Your Own World light novel, Tokinata Suna Yoshiro. This sword is able to absorb the powers of its enemies and scale the power it just took to the wielder of the Zanpakuto. And if we know Oetsu, that boy definitely has some crazy amounts of spiritual pressure. So it stands to assume that any power that he would take with Enra Kyoten would be power scaled to an unfathomable degree. The reason why I think Enra Kyoten was Oetsu's original Zanpakuto is because in the light novel, Enra Kyoten is said to be one of the oldest Zanpakuto there is, which stands to assume that as the person who created the Zanpakuto, why else would he create such a powerful weapon if not for himself? Sadly, the Suna Yoshiro clan probably stole it from him, but that's a plot hole in itself because why would he allow for his Zanpakuto to be stolen knowing he can detect where every Zanpakuto is regardless of who's wielding it? Maybe it's because he knew that just in case it were ever to be used for evil, he knows nobody has the ability to use it like he does. Thus, it becomes a big disadvantage for anybody holding it after their Ryatsu runs out. Okay, that actually sounds like a legitimate theory. As for his skills and abilities, Oetsu is basically a master in all forms of combat. Before combat, he's a master swordsmith, meaning that as the person who created the Zanpakuto, he automatically becomes the supreme authority on the subject of the sword, as well as how to develop and perfect it. As for his combat abilities, he excels in Shunpo, the art of Shinigami hand-to-hand combat, which enables him to move at incredible speeds as well as create immense damage from just direct hand-to-hand combat alone. Kido, the art of combat-based spells, which in his position enables him to use Kido attacks without reciting any incantations whatsoever, which is incredibly dangerous, especially when it comes to preventing Kido such as Hado number 99, which can produce immense amounts of damage, especially from a user like Oetsu who has spectacular amounts of spiritual pressure. Lastly, an interesting bit of information, Oetsu is actually bilingual, commonly using English throughout the manga, such as the scene where he actually says, "I am the number one Zanpakuto creator!" I don't know why I said that instead of just giving it to him. Oetsu, you bring it away!
I am number one Zanpakuto creator!
Yeah, he says that like he says it a lot. And that's actually very interesting because that could be a cool tie-in to the Western Soul Society Corps like those in the Burn the Witch manga. But that's a story and a theory for another video. Anyways, you all have been amazing, and I have a little surprise for you guys. Let's go! Last but not least is gameplay. I thought you guys would appreciate after, you heard me babble and talk and chatter about all the, different intricacies that is Oetsu Nimaiya in himself. I feel it is only customary to show you guys his model and his style in BBS. One of my favorite things about Bleach Brave Souls is the fact that they bring a character that is not represented in any physical visual media aside from book and make them a 3D model and character. Like, as you can clearly see, Oetsu Nimaiya looks really, really cool. As I mentioned, he has a really, really sick style. They gave him this little bouncy beat that he's got going on over there. I don't know what he's vibing to in his head, but I'm sure it sounds awesome. As you can see, I've made him like extremely strong. I've made him 15, 15, 15 for any of those Bleach fans. I did like a spiritual presser attack build because I like to clear content with him more so. Actually, if you notice, when he swings, his swings are actually cutting the air. And he's also disappearing and reappearing as he's attacking. But outside of that, I would actually like to show you all his physical gameplay from the game. So we're going to jump on over here. Open this on up. And we'll go do a little bit of now let's do the Untold Stories one. There we go. Just because I want to give you a little run through of his actual character. Also, please note that I am playing this on my computer. I usually prefer using it on my phone, but I am still learning how to play gameplay on my phone as of right now, like actually record it to my computer. So as you can see, he has a little start barrier. Don't worry about that. That's my little add-in. First things first, we're gonna do his strong attack 1. His strong attack 1 is a lunge. But God, he moves fast. Like you saw that, right? Like he moves, and when he moves and he does that actual attack, you can clearly see that all you see is those little black shapes, and that's pretty much it. That's all you really see of him. Next is going to be his little vortex situation over here. He's literally swinging Sayafushi so hard that it's creating this giant whirlwind around him that is constantly slicing and dismembering opponents. Lastly, this attack, which just looks amazing and just is cool. One swing and like 9 swings across the screen. Oetsu is truly like a master of the sword. As you can see, like there's moments where he cuts the air, and even when the sword actually hits the ground, watch how there's just like that little moment of impact. Bah! Yeah, he's cool. I don't know if I'm a cool person for doing all these sound effects and stuff, but I love Bleach Brave Soul so much, and it has so much personality to it, and it deserves much more than it receives, especially, you know, some of the complaints that are given to it. Even though K-Lab, I'm talking to you. Stop with the one character banners. I'm losing my sanity running for one character at a time. I like this, the 3 character banner with the spirits are forever with you. God, that's menacing. Woo! Like that, if that doesn't look brutal, I don't know what does. If that doesn't look brutal, I don't know what does. Zanpakuto Rabbit! See, it's interesting to see him be... It's interesting to see him like speaking English and being as bouncy and fun as he is, but I feel like that's also a very stern and embodiment to the first moments when we met the Zero Division. So this was the gameplay of Oetsu. I thought I'd just throw this in at the end. You all should be expecting me to be doing a summoning video soon, so keep your eyes out. Also, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you do. If you do, I don't know, I'll shout you out in the next video. Yeah? I don't mind that. Let's do it. All right. Awkward ending to a video, but I'm learning this. Bye.